excuses and say your internet's poor.
The only one that's missing, James, is the bridge over River Kwai, and that lot.
I'm too young to know what I mean. My laugh gives it away. So we'll need a mat, we'll need a foam roller. We're going to start with a little bit of a warm up for the hips, and I'll just put myself on the spotlight. You might see me checking form a few times today because there's a lot of bridges in there, so I might have to come and check what you guys are up to. But again, do what you can. If there's any aches and pains, modify your own exercise accordingly. But yeah, let's get some bridges, and bridges are good because it leads from one good place to another good place. And then there's a fourth row bridge as well. I'm just going to put the recording on, and then we'll find ourselves onto our mats. So we're just going to go into hands and knees first of all. Just going to make sure you can see the mat there. Good job. And hands and knees first of all. And we're just going to circumduct the hip round. So hands and knees, and all we're going to do is just get the hip moving before we load it. Okay, we're going to just try and get the hip circles around here. First of all, this is the left leg, and we're going clockwise. But I'm not too precious. If you're going the wrong direction, that's absolutely fine. Just do the opposite way when we're changing over. So we're going to go here for about 30 to 40 seconds, and we'll switch it down, and then we'll start building some bridges. 3, 2, 1, and we're going to switch directions. So just your leg, opposite direction. We're going to work, keep the chest nice and long, keep the breathing nice and regular. So what we're going to try and do today is really try and connect with the ground, but we're going to change the different positions of the joints. When the joints act, the muscles have to react. So by changing the joint position, different muscles will work. Change over, and we're on to the right leg and clockwise first of all. With the speed of the bridges, keep them nice and slow. Don't worry about rushing through however many reps. It's time under tension that's going to be really super important. Just get that hip loosened off before we start to load. And change direction. I'm going clockwise now with the right hand hip. $15 seconds to go. Good work. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. No need to rush, just take your time. 5, 3, 2, 1, and we'll grab our mats first of all. And all we're going to do for the first one is going to be just a normal bridge. Now I want you to think about the legs, just being about 90 degrees here. If you go too close, you're going to find your hamstring or cramp. So just go a little bit further out. And all we're going to do is put the hand down by our side. And all we're going to do is raise up and then back down. Raising through, push the hips high, squeeze the glutes through, and then back down. If you wish to have your hands in your pelvis just while you lift up, you do, and then relax back down. So ready? 3 by 1 minute, and off we go. Through, and back down. Breathe out on the way up. Breathe in on the way back down. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. And I want you to be aware of what your feet are doing. So I want you to think about the feet pressing into the ground rather than just lifting with the hips. I want you to think about initially moving with the feet and then lift the hips, okay? And I want you to think about the whole of the foot, press down to the middle of the foot to lift the legs high. And now I want you to think about, am I lifting to the left hand leg or am I lifting to both legs? And I want you to think about lifting the pelvis through both legs rather than pushing up to one side and then twisting to make up for it. 3, 2, 1, 15 seconds. So go like a little shake out there, 15 seconds. Second set coming up, and I want you to really think about it. It comes from the ground up, right from the hips. I want the move to start from the feet, and I want to start in the middle of the feet. So 3, 2, 1. Second set, off we go. Push through, back down. Drive through the feet to lift the hips. Drive through the feet, lift the hips. The feet is the key in the ignition. The hips as you start to drive. So you can't start to drive until that key is in the ignition. Push through the feet, drive through, nice and controls. Breathe out. Good work. Doesn't matter about height as long as it's nice and controlled from the ground up. You should start to feel the posterior chain, our glutes, hamstrings, calf, just starting to work now in the second set. If you need to take longer in between each reps, please do. Just watch out for the big toes keeping off the ground and the legs go wider. So keep the big toes locked to the floor if you can. 3, 2, 1. Relax there, 15 seconds. 1 to go. 1 to go. 5, 3, 2. Last set. Drive the feet in, lift the hips high. If you want to add a little bit of an extra twist to it, relax the pelvis out, pelvic tilt towards you, lift up, all the way down, pelvic tilt out. Pelvic tilt towards you, lift up, back down, pelvic tilt out. Still driving from the feet though, so we're going to come down and off. Pelvic tilt, press the feet, lift up. Down, back, up. Pelvic tilt roll, and pelvic tilt back up. Just get some extra movement into that lower back. And we don't necessarily have to think about squeezing the glutes. If we push the hips high enough, the glutes have to come on. So by making that pelvis move high, the glutes have to then work. Think about the big toe. The big toes dots being in contact with the ground. 3, 2, 1. Our second drill is going to be the same thing, but our feet are going to be placed together. So our feet are going to be pressing together for the whole of the bridge this time. Again, 3 by minute or 15 seconds. Feet together. Ready. Same principle. I want to really press the feet to lift the hips. You won't get as much height this time. Off we go. Press the feet, lift the hips. Back. Press the feet, lift the hips. And I want you to think about the joints moving, create force, and then the muscles have to work. Work. Press the feet together, lift the hips. Press the feet together, lift. And you should feel a slight tension on the inner thigh this time around, so the adductor is working hard. Hold the top. And again, in your head, you think about quality. Is the right hand side lifting as high as the left hand side? Is the left hand side restricted? Have a little think about what your body's telling you whilst you're doing the drill. 3, 2, 1. 15 seconds. Big legs, a little roll from side to side, you wish to as well. Keep that pelvis as loose as possible. 5 seconds, second set. Feet together. Ready, off we go. Press the feet together. Really try to feel and visualize the whole of the sole of the foot pressing against the other sole of the foot. Can I feel my big toes pressing against the big toes? Can I feel my fifth toe pressing against the fifth toe? And can I feel the heel pressing against the heel itself? Drive and once. Drive And relax. And work your breathing out to what you feel is comfortable for you. Pelvic tilt still involved. Pelvic tilt towards you, raise. Back down, off. 3, 2, 1. Roll legs from side to side. 15 seconds. One more to go, guys. One more to go. 3, 2, 1. Feet together. Off we go. Last step. Pelvic tilt. Raise. Back down. Pelvic tilt. Press the whole time with the feet. Engage with the feet. Pelvic tilt. Raise. Back down. Pelvic tilt. Pelvic tilt. Raise. Back down. Back up. Really work. The adductor is really, really important. They work as a secondary hamstring. They can have a role to help with deceleration, also lifting that knee or heel, sorry, behind the body when we're running. We also need them as stabilizers for when we're on trails, so really important that we have strong adductors. When the hamstrings tend to fatigue, they tend to take over, and that's why sometimes you can get a little bit of cramp in the inside of the groin, further into longer races, longer training sections. And relax, like the leg to check out 15 seconds. We're into single leg. So single leg, and I want the heel to be as close to your bottom this time round. One leg's going to be off. And we're going to hold for the 30 seconds. Then we're going to switch over, hold for the 30 seconds. Then we're going to be back down to 15. Then walk with out for the second set. And walk with out for the third set. So heels are going to be right close to bottom. I'm going to start on my left leg and my right leg out. So 3, 2, 1. Pelvic up, push to the ground, lift and hold. Lift and hold. Your knees should be at the same height. And I want the weight to be distributed to the whole of the foot. So press the whole of the foot down into the ground. We're not on our tiptoes, we're not on our heel, we're pressing the whole leg down. You'll feel quads up to the back, you'll feel hamstring work, you'll feel calf, and you should feel glutes. 3, 2, switch over straight in, press the whole foot down. When you change over, still be as disciplined by thinking about big toe, small toe, heel, all pressing down to the ground there to get the whole of the glutes, quad, hamstring, and calf working. Hold here, knees in same alignments, keeping the hips high. 3, 2, 1, back down, 15 seconds, roll from side to side. We're going to take the feet just out a little bit more. So we're probably about 90 now. The further we get from the hips, the more we're going to go onto the hamstring calf. So ready, on the left hand leg, up we come, hold here, press down to the whole of the foot. You might feel the hamstring kick in a little bit more here. Press down to the foot, keep the foot pressing to the ground there. If you need to come down, please do. 5, 3, 2, 1, transition. Out we go. Press to the whole foot. My toes want to curl up, so press the foot down. Really try and engage with the ground. Knees at the same height, hips off the ground. Breathe in nice and regular. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, back down. Legs go side to side. 15 seconds. We walk the feet out just another step. So we're going to start feeling more into the hamstrings this time round. The whole of the foot presses into the ground. 3, 2, 1, off we go. The bridge height isn't as much this time round because the legs are further out. So we're pressing that whole foot down and visualize that whole foot first, fit, heel, all pressing into the ground. Make that a contraction, make that active. Try not to just rest the foot down, push the foot down, engage with the ground. 3, 2, 1, switch over, and go. Press into the ground. Push into the ground. Keep the pressure through the ground, pelvic tilt towards you. 5, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Let the legs roll side to side. The next one's going to be with the foam roller. We're just going to have the foam roller at the knees. And the feet are just going to be a bit wider. So the view it's going to look like is the foam roller at the knees and the feet are just going to be a little bit wider. If the foam roller is too wide, then just put a yoga block or a pillow or something in your knees. If you don't have that, then just press the knees together. So we're going to have feet out with the knee height this time, okay? So, feet just a little bit wider, probably the width of your mat if you can go there. And ready, and lift up, press the knees together, push the knees, push the feet into the floor. Now you'll want to be just on the first big toe, but try and press down to that fifth toe as well now. Squeeze the knees together, push down to the fifth. So we've got a bit of internal rotation here. The deeper muscles, the gemellus, obturator, the stabilizing muscles of the hip are really working hard here. Keep the pressure going in the way. If the foam roller is too big, take it out and just press the knees together. Have a good contraction to the knees and the foot onto the ground. So make sure the feet are pressing into the ground. Good work. 20 seconds to go. Press the knees together. Keep the hips as high as you feel comfortable going. 5, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Roll from side to side. Put the feet in. And just roll from side to side. 10 seconds to go to the next set. Pillow to the knees. Feet wide. Ready. Second set. Lift through the feet. Press through the knees. Working more closer to your SI, to your sacroiliac joints. You'll feel the glute max having to work a little bit more here. You might even feel the adductor still from the last time having to work. You might feel as well the hamstring starting to work. It should be the inside hamstring. So we're really looking for a medial bias or an inside bias to this job here. We've got to start the timer. Sorry. Just do 4 seconds more. Press the knees together. Really feel that inner thigh starting to work now. Good work. If you can, just work the feet out a little bit more. Press the knees together. Lift the hips high. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, and back down. Give those little rock sector. One more to go there. So really looking at targets of our muscle that we don't usually use a huge amount. Last set, guys. Please set. Feet outside, width of your mat if possible. The wider you can go, the better. Ready and lift for the last set. Press the feet down, then push the knees together. Really push the knees together. Feel that inner groin working, feel that hamstring inside working. Keep the hips just off the ground. Remember, the height of your pelvic lift isn't as important here, but the compression to your knees is. The more you press the knees, the better. You can bring in the roots if you watch with the hands, so reach up towards the roof. Just give you that expansion to the rib cage. Press the knees, push the feet, squeeze and hold. 20 seconds to go, guys. Press with the knee, really put the foot on the accelerator pedal with the knees here. Press down to the feet. Feet and knees are the contact points here. Let everything else join along. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Good job. We're going to the wall next. So, with the wall, all we're going to do is have our feet 90 degrees up the wall. We're just going to push up. One leg comes off, one leg comes off. And we're just going to march on the wall itself here, okay? So, you've got 10 seconds to start. So, feet on the wall, about 90 degrees. We're going to come up into our bridge position and we're going to lift one leg off at a time. No rush, no speed, just good control. Starting 3, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt, lift up, and we start to march. This is bridge number 5. Good work. Just slow and controlled the marching. I want you to think about the whole of the foot pressing against the wall when you're on that wall now. Because the second set is going to be toes only, and the third set is going to be heels only. And I want you to kind of see what the difference is. Good work, marching through here. Hips are off the ground. Super, super slow. Pelvis is in that slightly posterior tilt position. So you pull that pelvis towards you to engage the core. 10 seconds. Keep your breathing as regular as you feel comfortable breathing. 3, 2, 1. Back down we come, rock the legs from side to side. Retake your position, just slide away from the wall. This one's going to be tip of the toes only. So tip of the toes only. No heel contact for the minute. Start in 3, 2, 1. Raise up. Off we go. Tip the toes only. And just let that knee come right towards you, as far as you can towards the chest, to give that glute a nice little stretch on the leg that's not working on the wall. Good job. Super, super slow. Toes only, heels off, pelvic tilt towards you, breathing nice and controlled. You can bring in that root if you wish to for more thoracic expansion. Reach the fingertips towards the roof as you're doing the drill. 20 seconds. Ten seconds. Working hard, guys, doing really well. 3, 2, 1. Back down, back off. Take up the position. Heels only for the last one. Heels only for the last one. Okay. So toes are going to be off. So we're going to already use our tib ant, which is the muscle at the front of the shin for lifting that foot into what we call dorsal flexion. 3, 2. Pelvic tilt. Raise up. Heels only. And dig that heel that's on the wall into the wall to lift off. So press from the wall rather than just let the hip flexors do the work. So push into the wall with the heel. Really get that hamstring and glutes working. The higher up the wall, the harder the work. So walk your feet up the wall if you wish to as well. Good job. Third and final set on this wall bridge. And then we want the 6th penultimate bridge. Probably the trickiest one of the lot. Good. Slow, controlled marching. 15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax that down. Relax that shape inside. So I got your foam rollers. Foam roller bridge, not necessarily a high hip lift. So I'm going to talk about this one here before we start. So the middle of your foot is the only part that's in contact with the roller here. So it's not so much the heels, and it's not so much the toes. It's not there, and it's not there. It's going to be literally through the middle of it. Your knee angle has to be past 100 degrees. So about there will be ground knee. And all we're going to do is a pelvic tilt and I push my feet down. I'm not lifting high, so I'm not lifting off the ground. I'm pelvic tilting, so my short is off the ground, but my back's still down and I'm pushing through the feet, okay? And I want you to think about both feet pushing down equally, okay? So feet on top of the foam roller, not down to the angle here, on top of the foam roller. So 3, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt, press down onto the foam roller with a flat foot. So try not to come here, try not to come an angle there, have the feet flat, so they're almost parallel to the ground. Hamstring's going to work here. It's a pelvic tilt rather than a raise at the hips. So we're not off the ground, but our bottoms are, our backs are still down. We're pushing down through that foam roller. I want you to ask the question, is it 50-50? Is one side working more than the other? If it is, let the other side do some work and make that side go a little bit lighter. So pushing down 50-50 for this first ball here. Hamstrings are going to work. If you find you're getting to cramp, just let the leg stretch out. Push back down again. Good job. 20 seconds to go. Push the feet flat down. Flat down. 3, 2, 1, and relax back there. Your legs will stretch out. This time, what we're going to do is going to imagine there's a small bit of pizza dough underneath the foam roller, and we're just going to pulse on it, okay? So feet on the foam roller, still parallel to the ground. So we're not here, and we're not there. It's the feet are flat down. 3, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt, press down. Slosh that bit of pizza dough, just roll that pizza dough out. Small movements, so we're not lifting our back off the ground, but our hips are. We're going to start to feel the outside of the shin now working. Push down through the feet. Push into the foam roller itself. So really try and make that foam roller work. It's a small anterior tilt, so your hips are off, but your back is down. Pushing into that roller. Good work. Small movements, not massive movements with the roller itself, it's just a small bit. Hips are off the ground, and your posterior pelvic tilt. If you need to have a little rest, please do. Keep the feet parallel, but keep the pressure down on the foam roller. 3, 2, 1, and relax there. 1 to go, 1 to go. This time we're going to have our feet flat, and we're just going to raise 1 foot off. If you can't do that, that's fine. Just go back to double leg on. If you're wanting to stop after 3 seconds, that's fine as well. 3, 2, pelvic tilt, press down on the roller, 1 leg off, marching on the roller itself. Good work. Reach with the hands, keep the thoracic spine open. Keep that breathing nice and controlled. Pelvis is off the ground. Whoa. But the hips are high and the back is down. So the pelvis is tilted towards you. Just 20 seconds to go, guys. Reach. Keep your feet flat on the foam roller. No heels, no toes, all mid-foot. Good. Super slow, controlled. 3, 2, 1, and roll the roller away, get rid of that. Good job, perfect. Last bridge, the last bridge, core bridge. We're going to have hands up underneath. We're going to have our feet out flat, and we raise off the ground here and hold, okay? So we're going to have our hands point towards our feet. We're going to have our hips high, and our heels are digging into the ground outside. Okay, we're going to start in 5, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Push up, hold here, inverted bridge. Keep the hips high for as long as you can. We're working on the core, but also the lower back, keeping the back stretched out. If you need to go to this position here, that's absolutely fine as well. Keep it long and strong as long as you can. Looking up towards the roof, a gap about the size of an apple between your chin and your chest. Try not to let the chin drop down. Keep that windpipe open. Breathing nice and regular. 5, 3, 2, 1. Back down 15 seconds. A little stretch toward the toes. Second set. Last bridge. We've got 2 of these to go. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Lift the hips up. Tuck the hand underneath. If you need to go to a shortened bridge, just tuck the feet in, push the hips high like a table, but try and keep as long as you can for as long as you can. Heads long, looking up towards the roof. Gap at the chest. Breathe through the nose, out through the mouth. If you can, keep the hips pressing high. Dig the heels in. Ten seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Back down, but one foot stretched out the back. 15 second recovery. Last one. Last one of today, guys. Well done. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Hands tucked around. Lift the hips high. Hold the neck long. Breathing nice and regular. Hips stay high. Using the lower back, using the core. Keep it here. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax back down. Good job, guys. Pop in our front, so go straight into Cobra. Just a good stretch for that lower back. Just hang it here for 10, 3, 2, 1, and a little stretch immediately. I'm just going to pause the recording. Well done, guys. Good job. And that is ridges. Any questions, any queries, any concerns there, guys? So we worked a lot around about the pelvis today. There's so many muscles around about the pelvis, but the key thing is not to worry about the muscle, worry about the movement. The joints are the important part of it. So joints act, muscles react. When you move the knee, when you move the hip, when you move the foot in a different direction, the muscles have to keep up with that. Really good job. Any questions, any queries, any concerns? I would probably have a wee stretch for your lower backs because sometimes the back takes over when the glutes start to fatigue. So the Cobra stretch there, knees to chest, little leg roll side to side, even some openers, either child's pose or just standing up and getting a good stretch over to the side can be quite good. Excellent job. Great seeing all your lovely smiling faces. Have a lovely weekend.
He's such a liar.
See, every single one smiled there, Andy. You bring the humor. That's it. That's it. Good job, guys, and we will see you next week.
Yes,
Cheers.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, James.